4 days. How long we've been in 2026 for? 4 days. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that's thinking about this, but 2026 is gonna be a wild fucking year. Like we got 11 months of this shit to go before we can once again gather around and watch the ball drop and get drunk and be merry and be thankful that it's a new year and maybe hope that the new year will be a good year for us there. But, yeah, no, 4 days into 2026 and already the United States of America is bombing the shit out of brown people. That's impressive there. I gotta tip my hat to them. When I first heard about this whole U.S. versus Venezuela thing, I thought it was, Trump's just gonna, like, he's a big tough guy, and, we're gonna send a couple of warships to really show him who's boss, and then, we're just gonna, meet somewhere, or we're gonna have a meeting, we're gonna sign a couple of pieces of paper, and everything would be fine there. But, yeah, I did not have kidnapping a president on the fucking bingo card. I don't think anyone else had Delta Force kidnapping a fucking president in the middle of the night on the bingo card. There. But of course, America being America wasn't just simply, rushing on over into a foreign nation, kidnapping a president. No. We can't do that. Of course, America being America, we have to make it look like a fucking Call of Duty mission. So, of course, we have to add fucking explosions and shit. Because, of course we do. We are the masters of subtlety. The United States of America. We are the masters of subtlety there. And, I gotta say, within a few hours, there were already protests about this thing. He didn't ask Congress for authorization to go in there and do what he did. He's breaking the law. Which, when has a president of the United States, within the past 50, 60 years or so, when have they ever given a shit about what Congress has to say there? Fucking nearly 40 years ago, in the early 1990s, we did this same shit we just did in Venezuela over in Panama. Now, granted, where is the Venezuelan debacle is a mixture of stopping drug cartels and securing oil and putting an end to an oppressive dictatorship and, taking another one of Putin's allies off of the chessboard or what have you there. Panama was a bit different. It was simple. Basically, Manuel Noriega, also known as Pineapple Face, was being a bit of a cunt. And like a true lolcow, there, he was like, I'll take you on, I'll take anyone on, fuck America, we're going to war. And as we all know, one universal truth out there is, you want to fuck with America, you're going to get fucked raw. And Pineapple Face learned the hard way there. But throughout all this confusion, there is one group I gotta feel bad for. There's one group that I genuinely do feel bad for. And that is the Chinese delegation that was sent there to Caracas to meet with President Maduro. Because holy shit, they did not expect what they were going to be getting themselves into. They thought it was just going to be a regular fucking meeting. We fly on over to South America. We meet with Maduro. We shake hands. We have a couple of meetings here and there. We go out for drinks afterwards. Apparently, they were supposed to meet up at the fucking mausoleum for Hugo Chavez there, and do a little sightseeing around the town there. But yeah, they got woken up to fucking explosions, and Maduro getting dragged into a fucking helicopter in his PJs there. That's just fucking great there. I'm sure Winnie the Pooh is going to be very ecstatic. I'm sure Winnie the Pooh is absolutely ecstatic when he heard the news. I'm sure he was very ecstatic when he heard the news there. But yeah, this is how we're ringing in the new year. Once again, America is engaging in actual colonialism. We're engaging in actual colonialism again. And this time it's not in the Middle East, which is surprising. I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. I've heard so many stories about the U.S., taking over little small countries in Latin America in like the last century or so. But I didn't think this would be happening in my lifetime there. It's nice to know we're going back to the fucking 80s. Destabilizing the regions there. Yay. What a fucking clown show. Again, I really do feel bad for the Chinese delegation. They don't know what the fuck is going on, and oh boy, that plane ride back home is gonna be fucking awkward. They should make a movie about that. I would pay good money. Get the people responsible for the death of Stalin, get them to make a movie about this shit. Get them to make a movie about this shit. I would pay good money to watch that shit. But yeah, this is Alistair Mycroft's hot geopolitical takes there. I hope you're all now well informed as to the situation going on in fucking Venezuela. And 2026 is really going to be one hell of a fucking year. You might want to stock up on plenty of booze and a helmet. Because it's going to be a doozy.